before we get into the DJ and everything about Mike off the track, let's talk a little bit about. So Valencia was which event? That was World Juniors.
First World Indoors. So what was it? 2000. Was it 2008? I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So World Indoors, that's your first team making it from being a U.S. champ. What was that experience like? Because it was your first time. You're in a new atmosphere. It's different from being on the basketball court and also on the football field. So talk about that experience.
Well, to be honest, like before I even got an agent and stuff like that, I didn't even think that it was gonna go that far. I was like, you know what? It was Nationals 2007, I believe, and I was in college. I was at Oklahoma Baptist, and I ran 100. And I ran 10-10 in the semis. No, 10-10 in the quarterfinals, and I made it to the semis. But I remember Justin Gatlin false starting in the semis, and they put him back in the race for my semi, and him and a bunch of other people, they was getting into it. I think Bernard Williams was ready to fight him or something like that. Whatever happened at Nationals or whatever. So I ended up running the same time, but I didn't make the final. So this is where I met my coach. So I'm like, all right, man, forget it, man. I got a good job. I'm going back to I was actually the manager at Foot Locker in Oklahoma in Shawnee. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna give me a job, and I'm just finish school, whatever. I wasn't even thinking about track. I'm like, these guys running 9.7, and I'm running 10.1. What am I gonna do? So I met my coach Daryl Woodson actually at the hot dog. I was getting some nachos, and he's like, hey man, what's up, man? You know, I feel like you can run a lot faster, man, if I coach you. I'm like, you know how many times I done heard this? Like, you know, y'all know how coaches are. Oh man, I can coach you to this. He's like, man, you can move in my house. I just moved to, you know what I'm saying? I just moved to Austin or whatever. And I was like, all right. I said, who else you coach? He said, oh, Bianca Knight. I don't know who the hell Bianca Knight is because I wasn't really into track like that, you know? So it was like, all right, man, I'll think about it. So we had a rookie camp in Cancun, true story. Get down there, having a good time with other track athletes, you know, meeting everybody else who's, you know, graduating NCAAs. You know, we really didn't race the NCAA school, but we went to LSU, Drake, and a few big meets at the school I was at. So I got a chance to, you know, meet some of them and meet some of the main guys in NCAA. So long story short, I had a good time at the rookie camp. Leaving, my flight gets canceled. Mind you, you know, I'm a broke college student. My paycheck is at Foot Locker. My parents didn't really have money like that, so it was like I had to make a decision. And the lady was like, well, I could put you on a one-way to Austin, or you can stay here 5 days in Cancun and try to, you know, catch a flight. So I end up like not going back to school, leaving everything, like my campus house, all that, going down here, go train with this man. One duffel bag, no cell phone, no nothing. Like I just took a risk.
You just took the chance, the risk.
I took the chance, you know, and I.
But it was sort of like a sign.
It was set up.
You had a one-way ticket to Austin, or you could stay there 5 days. So
yeah,
it was like God was giving you some sort of sign.
Yeah,
some sort of sign. Hey, you interrupting us, girl. So got to Austin and, you know, met him. You know, we got there and I was like, man, look, let's go to work. I didn't even tell my parents where I was. Like this was the wildest decision, off the wall decision that I made. So got to training with this man. I'm talking about he trained me. I've never did some of the stuff ever in life that he had me doing. And I learned so much about the event. And then when I started to race and started to run, I ran 6.5, 51 the first time I stepped on the track with training with this man. 6:51 Milrose Games. I beat Terrence Tramiel. I beat all the big names. This is Milrose Games now. First track meet ever. I'm like,
yeah, and Terrence was dropping I think Terrence ran 6:47 or something.
He ran 47, yeah. So
yeah,
I'm beating
Terrence
these
was
guys
quick.
the whole indoor circuit.
Yeah.
No agent, no nothing. It's just because D2 was doing, you know, my coach Daryl Woodson was doing the background work, you know, and the agent he was working with was putting me in the meets. And then the agent finally showed up. I think it was like after Tyson Invitational. That was the first indoor race I lost that whole season. And he was like, I want to take you to Europe. I was like, Europe? I don't got no passport. Like, none of that. So he took a chance on me. Mind you, I went to the very first meet I ran it this year indoors. It's in Metz, France. I met the meet director. He's like, so many years ago, you came and your career launched from here. And I told TC this year I wanted to just do those meets that I started when I first started competing. And I ran well at every meet indoors this year. If everybody pays attention, I ran 6:52 this year, and I didn't even race that much. And I was only on the track 3 weeks, so it was like, oh, I already know what type of season it's gonna be this year. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it was crazy.